Good day, dear partners and investors. I would like to introduce our project. This is a construction of the chemical plant in Russia by crowdfunding. But first of all, I would like to introduce myself, my company, Russian Agriculture, and then come to our project as a crowdfunding. Firstly, about myself. My name is Oleg Zenzeluk. I am an owner of a company AFD, which is agriculture and food development. This company was created 10 years ago, and main business is for registration, production, sales of agricultural chemicals, which is pesticides. My career came from 20 years ago. I used to work for many European and American companies like Wanderhaber, Cargill, Monsanto, Uniroyal Chemical. But last 10 years, I am together with AFD. This company started its business to supply total herbicides for railways in Russia, and after a successful 5 years, it started to do agriculture pesticides. Before I come to my company explanation and our project, I like to introduce also agriculture of Russia, and I would like also to show you a few slides. First of all, agriculture, especially now, is a very important part of Russian industry. And by accident, due to the sanction, agriculture last 4 or 5 years grew very rapidly. And for my career, I've never seen such a high development of agriculture in Russia, because just after sanction, government realized that there is no good food produced in Russia. And now all projects in agriculture are based to make a local production and local food production. I believe this is the most fruitful years I have ever seen. That's why any new project in agriculture is very vital now, and it's just timely based. Regarding to agriculture in Russia, I tell you that now the total turnover of agriculture and food development is about 100 billion US dollars. Our part, crop production, is about 45 of total agriculture. Coming to our main business, pesticides. So far, Russia is dependent on imported active ingredient and formulation of pesticides. That's where we see our development to make everything locally. All pesticide formulation to make it locally. And just an example, currently all of us are taking products from China, where there are about more than 400 factories producing pesticides. In Russia, we have only over 10. It is a huge difference. And of course, for such a big country like Russia, we have to invest heavily in chemical industry, because we have main inputs like gas and oil, and it's kind of a shame to bring products into Russia unless we can produce it by ourselves. Also, again, about agriculture. We can see that Russia, with its huge acreage, is among top countries for some crops like sugar beet. We are #1 in the world. Sunflower, we are number 2 in the world. Also potato, a very important part, is also number 3 in the world. Right now we have a strong development of soybean, also due to a good cooperation with China. I believe for soybean, our current market is only about 20% of a normal market we could expect in the next 5-7 years. Also, grain crops are very important in Russia. It's a wheat and barley. We are among top 5 in the world. Of course, for wheat and barley, we are very important exporters. But again, this is not the best option for us. For us, the best option is to make grain processing and produce flour and ready products. In this case, we will have much more added value products and much more income for a country. Well, regarding pesticides, if we take a worldwide market of pesticides, it is about $60 billion for the whole world. Main markets are South America, North America, and Europe, including Russia. But Russia is playing more and more important role for pesticide turnover in Europe. Currently, if you look to Russia, we are about $2 billion US. This is for ex-producer price. My expectation based on an acreage in Russia, and later I will show you that we have some uncovered lands as well. My expectation is that it should come to about $5 billion US in next 10 years. So with the local capacity of pesticide and even import from China, we have to increase supply in 2 times. And of course, once we will not have local factories, we would lose this competition, and again we will have more import of pesticide to Russia rather than local production. As I just explained, so far we have almost equal relationship between domestic products and imported products. But due to sanction, due to policy of Russian government, I do believe that in 10 years or even 5-7 years, we will have around 80% of a local production, and only highly innovative products we still could supply from Europe or USA or China, but main products of pesticides should be produced locally by local plants, where our company IFD should have a place with our new based factory. As you can see, if you take a top 20 Russian and foreign producers in Russia and suppliers, of course, our company is among top 20. And this top 20 place, we hold it already for last 10 years. And I just explained you that we still a very big grain country, but another crops are coming up, and also value invested in these crops are much higher than grains. So we can see the sugar beet is a huge pesticide supply. Is a sunflower, soybean, also rapeseed is coming because there's a huge demand then from Europe and other countries to supply back oil. And one interesting point, and you can compare it even with some of your countries. We have unused land for acreage of 97 million hectares. I believe that some countries in Europe are much smaller than just unused land in Russia. So the land, the total agricultural land is almost 380 million, but currently we use it only 2/3, and 1/3 is really unused. So you can imagine how much product we could produce there, as well as how much our pesticide product we can supply. So once you ask me about competition in Russia, I would easily answer that there is no competition till now. There is still a huge room for everybody to extend due to 2 points. One point is unused land, and the second point is still low technology here. Once we will have an intensive technology, we also could double our sales. So when I repeating that from $2 billion US, we easily could grow to 5 billion, and this is one of the best place where you can see this growth. I believe that 10 years before, 15, we could see such a growth in South America, like Brazil and Argentina. Right now they are stable, but Russia is only at the beginning of a long way, but very successful way for agriculture. And I don't believe that Russia is afraid right now about sanctions. Sanctions, that was the best investments for us to support our agriculture and to invest by ourselves. Again, low technology. You could see that also up to 38% there is a minimum or limited usage of pesticide. They say no pesticide use. I would rather say very limited. So that's where you can grow again for a big volumes, because only of that and not competition between suppliers. Once we just spoke a bit about world pesticide market as well as Russian agriculture and pesticide market. Few words about my company, which is IFD company. So that was established right now, it's over 12 years ago. It was established, and the first project and main project that was to supply pesticide for railways. This is a state company where we had to control weeds in roads to have it very clean, because it's a big danger of a fire, and you can imagine how much oil and gas are transported by rails. That was our main business for almost 6 years, but then we fully concentrated for agriculture, where we could see a very big potential, and we are not dependable on only one customer. So currently we have over 200 customers and a good growth. Also, because of a tendency in a world market for soybean supply to China, right now Russia is becoming a main partner for soybean into China and not to USA or Brazil, for 2 reasons. There's also some trade issues between that countries, but in Russia we have a GMO-free zone. That's why our soybean is very healthy, and no doubts about GMO, which is a good or bad. Coming to our company again, when we are asking ourselves for what is the main strength, what is the main value of our company, of course, there are 3 points. The first one, of course, is the people around me, and probably we will talk about them a little bit later. Secondly, this is my sales network in Russia. And the third one, this is a registration. Registration of pesticide in Russia is equal to registration of medicine for human beings. That's why we really spend a lot of time, efforts, and money to get a single registration. It takes up to 3 years for one registration, and it takes from 100,000 US dollars up to 300,000 US dollars per one registration, because we spend money not only for biological trials, but also trials for all cancerogenic, all tox studies. We are spending time and money for that. And as a final result, we have a registration for 10 years, and our product is totally safe for human beings and also for animals and other items which are not harmful to our production. That's why this is a very big value, and only companies with registration are valid to do a high-scale business, as well as to make local factories based on our registrations. And there is some pictures of our certificate. We have over 35 and running another new 15 registration now. This is more specific what kind of pesticides we have. So we have 4 seed treatments to treat seeds before planting. We have 5 insecticides. This is a product to kill pests. We totally control our crops against pests, not to make any injury there. Fungicides, this is to treat plants against diseases. Main part of our chemical products are herbicides, which is a product against weeds. And this is the biggest volume of pesticides in Russia. This is about 70% of sales are herbicides. We have one desiccant. This is to dry plants before harvesting. One surfactant. This is a product to help all these pesticides to penetrate into a plant or into insect. So it's a helper for our products to get it in. Just one comment for people who are not very familiar with a pesticide, not to mix it with fertilizers. Fertilizers, this is items to put it into the soil or plants to help to grow plants better, stronger, with a higher yield. Our product it's a chemical pesticides which is to protect, not to help to grow, but to protect. Let's go further. What is our project? We started to talk from the very beginning. We like to construct a formulation plant in Russia. This is the very vital time, and this is a situation which is the best period to start for many reasons I have already described, but I could repeat again. So due to sanction, which finally helped agriculture of Russia to grow and not to stop, we could see that we have to be independent from any import products. So by business and by government, we are strongly supported to have a Russian-based pesticide plant. Secondly, we could see a very big growth of our market, and being fully establish our company on a imported products, it is not safe. So our procurement time is longer, and we are not sure to have products in time, especially now with all these logistics issues around the world due to COVID-19 and others. So this is very important. And finally, looking to Russia in general, we understand that the chemical industry should be in place here in Russia and grow year by year. So that's why this plant is just is a normal view for us for development. We can talk about this today or later. I just explain you about opportunities that time to do that. Also our strengths, that we are in the market for last 10 years. Weakness, not our company itself, but weakness of Russia, that when we are talking about formulation, it means that you combine all ingredients together to have a ready product. But to combine all ingredients means you should have these ingredients. Unfortunately, in Russia, chemical industry is really old styled. That's why almost 80% of raw ingredients, active ingredients, they are taken from abroad. So our first step is to make formulation plants. Second step is to have a bigger plants to produce active ingredients. But to support production of anti-active ingredients, I believe this is a very big task of government. Task of business is to make formulation plants. And to compare with China, in China, again, more than 500 plants. In Russia, it's only 10, 12. So it's a huge room to grow. Regarding to threats, I really don't see it. So of course, there is a very high price increase now, but that's for everybody. It's also we could talk about competition. There is a competition, but we are very strong here. There is no issue. They say that government should penetrate to this market and to establish a state-owned pesticide company and to control the market. I should tell you that government could and should make state-owned company, but of course never will control the total in future 5 billion market. They could control 30 or even 40%, but another 60% is a huge room for everybody, including our company. That's just examples. What does it mean formulation? That's what we put inside to have a ready product which is suitable for crops. And of course, as I told you, we take raw materials from the world to supply is such a big tanks, then we formulate it at our future factory, we pack it, and we have it ready products. So regarding economic data of our project, we expect to construct a plant of 15 million liters per year, which cost us around $45 million US, but operational income is over 80%, and we expect after we start our project, our factory in full capacity, that the recovery is only 2 years. I should tell you that so far we also have quite a good margin. It's of course not 80, but we take a ready product from China, and you can imagine that the main margin is taken by Chinese producers, because for them we are just customers, and of course margin should stay with a producer, not a seller. In the case we have our own factory, of course all margin are ours. That's why we are not afraid on such positive data like 80% and up to 160% for some products, which is a really truth, because some products has a very high value because it is very innovative. And not to make it in detail from the very beginning, you could see that we have a roadmap of construction where we started from October, November of this year to select a site where we constructed. And later on, I will show you what is that site and why we decided to put our plant at that area. And of course, when you look into roadmap, you could see that we should go through many approvals to get all our papers in one hand. We have to prove all our project to government bodies to have all loans in our hands. And by April, May of 2024, we would like to launch a production facility to make a pilot production, and then to go for full capacity. So what do we need for that? So this project requires investments, which is 3 years. We divided this 3 years for 20 stages. And of course, we will defend and explain you every stage. And it takes 45 million as a final. We, as the owners of company and some investors, we had a long discussions where to take money from turnover, from bank, from individual investors, and our council, they proved us, they persuaded us to go for crowdfunding project, because it is very open. We are still independent. We are not dependable on a single investors who could put his rules in future, even to control a company. And crowdfunding in a proper way, how we would like to establish with a very advanced and experienced people from crowdfunding to have this project based on crowdfunding. That's why investors of crowdfunding, so they get an opportunity to purchase shares, and you can keep these shares, you can sell these shares, you can be with us until the final stage of the project, and also after that, when we continue our sales. One of the important point here is that my company is not a future project. My company is a running business. So we keep this business next years, and as a side project, this is a construction of the plant. So we do not stop our business, we do not stop our sales, we do not stop our growth, we do not stop our registration. We keep it going, and aside of that, we have a production to make our business better. So this is not a startup position. This is a current business with an advanced project. Also, you can see Russia. Of course, half of north part of this country is not agriculture, but still, as you could see, it's over 200 million hectares. So it's more than in Europe in few times. And currently, we have a lot of our IFD branches in Russia. So we have a south, we have a middle country, we have a far east. Also, we sell all our products by main distributors of Russia, which have a huge turnover, and that companies are also selling seeds, fertilizers, others. This is our financial indicators of our project. I believe we could pin my video over internet, where you can go by figure, and then if any question, you always can reply to me. Also, by this presentation, you could see how we would like to make a procedure mechanism of crowdfunding. So you can go through every stage, and what is the structure of crowdfunding we offer you, as well as to explain you properly that every investor will become a co-owner. You will have an official investment contract. You will have a certificate of shares, so to keep it and to have it a legal way. For that project, we have three sides. It's a IFD company itself, it's a IFD Invest, and investment fund. Also, just finally to explain that we as IFD will keep 51 shares to control our project, to control our construction, to control a start, to deal with local authorities, and 49%, this is a crowdfunding. It's a people investors. And when we discuss on a turnover with our plant, we discuss that our full capacity year will start from $68 million turnover in Russia, which is 2024. I also would like to say about site where we like to put our plant. Our plant, we expect to put on a, we call it duty-free zones. It's economic zones of industrial and production type. It calls Elabuga. It is based, 2 hours fly from Moscow. This republic is Tatarstan, which is the capital of Kazan. Why we took this place, I will explain you. So you can see this economic zone. This zone is the biggest ever in Russia and advanced ever. We have more than 57 resident towns. This is a 57 running business, from auto production business to many types of chemicals business, including glass and other stuff. Also, there are 2 pesticides plants there, which is very important for us because management of this area is well educated, well known. What does mean pesticide? Also, this area is a huge, so we have no issue with any health or sanitary issues. That's where our plant is safe in terms of environment protection. Probably some companies you could know, because it's not only local one, it is also international, like a Solar's Ford, producing Ford. It is a Rockwool for building industry, and also some other companies are resident at this area. This is one of the look of this area where we can where we would like to have a plant. What is important here? So when you look to this table, you could see that once we put our plant there, all these items are ready to use or switch on. It means that gas supply in place, power supply in place, heat and water supplies are in place. It's a drainage, it's a sewer, it's a IT telephony, also roads and railway lines. So you can imagine that when you have a plot to build a plant and you have it not in such zone, so you can imagine how much you have to invest before erasing, before constructing. So you should have a lot of paperwork for approval. You should spend over 2 years to bring all these things together. That's what we don't need. We have everything in one place, so we immediately could sign agreement with this zone, and we have already have an agreement with them for initial discussion, like a non-disclosure agreement. That's why we can start our project immediately once we decided to have our investment and our crowdfunding project. Also, which is very important, this is a rent price. So this is still in rubles, but for our plant, we need only 10 hectares. So we pay after we construct our plant, we can buy this land, and it will cost us. It will cost us, as you see, it's only $20,000 because the idea of this area is to bring investments, is to bring processing plants and factories, and not to make a sales of land itself. So this is very attractive, and which is also very important in Russia to have a private land and not rented land from government. This is second point why we are here. The first one is that all infrastructure are in place. Second point, of course, tax. So we need no advisors how to structure our tax. As for minimum first 5 years, we have very limited tax, and for some tax are 0%. Income tax, where we have in Russia 20%, here we have only 2%, which is of course for new business, it's a great advantage. And the third point why we're here, this is also free customs zone. What does it mean? When we calculate our factory, of course, we can imagine that, I don't know, 75% of equipment are imported from Europe, USA, and China. In our case, once we have this equipment for our factory, we need no custom clearance. So there is no duty and there is no VAT at all, which saves us up to 25% of our costs. Also, when we supply active ingredients into our factory here, we also have no custom clearance. We only pay VAT tax when we have a ready product and we sell it inside of the Russia. So the three important points for this economic region. The first one, that all infrastructure and communications are in place. Secondly, this is tax. And third, there is no customs duty for all equipment and raw materials for our production. So that's why, just summarizing, that you as an investor, you can start to invest even from $50. You can do it from every place you are. You can give all this share to your family. You can keep it as an investment. And because you have a legal agreement with us, you have a very clear transparency, and we are very accountable for every dollar we take for this project. So currently, this project is designed and managed by me, and the second person is Dmitry Ivanov, who is a big businessman and very experienced for crowdfunding, and him, together with his team, is running this project on a base of crowdfunding. I would like to stop my initial presentation. If you have any questions, then you can type to me. And also, we just finished our general exhibition in Russia, where we had a participation. I also will show you later my speech there, my customers there, and I believe that 2 times per month I will have such a speech to explain about new development of our project. And as I told you, that we had 20 stages, and of course on every stage we will report you as the same way as we did it today. So thank you for your attention, and keep in touch. See you.